All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
All right, Shalom, brothers and sisters in the truth. I'm your brother, Mr. LJ, coming to you again with another presentation. And I was browsing through the internet today, looking at what's going on here in Great Babylon and also around the world. And as you know, there's a lot of things that's going on that it's coming true as the prophecy, as the Bible is actually prophesied. So this is good news to us that Yahawashi is coming back to save his hopefully elect real soon from this wicked queendom. But something caught my attention, and that was, as you know, right now they're opening up, the different states, because right now they've already gotten millions of people to accept the jab from an unproven vaccine that supposed to get everybody back to normal. And as um, you know, you can look around, you can see that the face of this is who. As soon as you click on to uh, the MSN website, MSN.com, you see daily, you see the scrolling these news feeds scrolling on. And what I've been noticing for the last couple of weeks is that anything to do with these Maxine, there's always Jakes that are starring in it. Almost everything right now that has to do with the Maxine, there's pictures of Jakes, whether that's intentional or not. But we all know that that's basically that you know message they're sending out there. Hey, Jakes, go and get this Maxine. So what's going on here in California is that you have now that the state is going to be opening up, and the mask mandate has been lifted by the CDC. Is that a lot of these people now, who have beachfront property in LA and in different parts of the states, are now rising up against these people who have built these camps all over the place, and these are the homeless people who've been impacted from actually well before COVID actually started, because a lot of the homeless here in California are actually coming from out of state because of the weather out here. So it's drawing a lot of people that's coming out here, and they're building these little encampments on the beaches, and these are high value property out here. And anyone know what California property are worth? They're in the millions. Okay, so the residents are now saying, "Hey, what the hell is going on here? You know, we want these people to leave, to get out of here, because this is a great tourism here. You have restaurants, you have houses, multi-million dollar houses, and you can see right here in this map where this is actually, this is taking place, and the story goes on and on and on, because you now have thousands upon thousands of people have actually set up their housing here, and this is going to be a problem because now, as we know, they've been hiding, what the true uh, state of the United States is right now. And we're now about to see that when they open up this place, and you have the people who have the ability to go there and do shopping, the haves and the haves not. You're going to notice a big difference, because there's going to be suddenly you're going to see all of these people who have zero, zilch, nothing, going to be in the way and have been in the way of the people who actually still have some type of residue that's left over from when America was, roaring in its glory and its riches in, prior to 2020. Okay. And so there's not going to be this mercy that's going to be shown. And this has been the setup of the elites the entire time. In particular, these, state government who've wielded their power, that they were not really elected to do. I'm going to bring up a precept before I move on with this. And it says, this is from the book of Proverbs 21 and 13. It says, whosoever stoppeth his ear at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. And right now, you are seeing people with, they're not noticing that these people are very poor. And this is a combination of Jakes and Edomites, okay? Or at least the people who look like Edomites. They might be Jakes. But they have a place here in California called Skid Row. And there's a reason why they call it Skid Row. Now, if you know what skid mark is, okay, then you would know the reason why they call it Skid Row, okay? Because when you drive through this area, it just smells like just shit and urine. Okay, and that's what you see because that's what they do. And this is in a very large spot in downtown LA, going on for miles. And as you can see here, the people are starting to really to get furious. Okay, these are the people that are wealthy. These are the ones who have the businesses. These are the ones that walk around up and up in society. Now, this is not, you know, this is not the Jewish people who are running the world and really, you know, calling the shots. These are just the people that we see around every day, but you know they're pretty well off, and so they look down on these people, and you'll notice that the faces of the poor have changed dramatically. These are Edomites, you know, with the dogs in tents, and if you read the stories, you know, all of them had a great story, you know, of what they were doing, and they were in well-to-do positions. But imagine if you live in a nation, a wicked queendom, you know, where you know you don't really have to be smart to even get a job, just based on your skin color, perceived skin color, that you can actually get a job. When the time comes, you know, that changes. Okay, that changes, and so now there's a rude awakening that's going on with these people as they find themselves, you know, sitting out here on these you know, encampment, you know. And when you look at it, I mean, here, you know, they're in the trees and everything, okay. And of course, you know, people are going to be looking down at these people, you know, and there are those that are stepping up and saying, hey, you know, what can we do about this? And you can see here where it says local news, U.S. Appeals Court pauses order to house everyone on LA Skid Row by fall. Now, Governor Newsom, who's now there's a ballot out there to get him out. You know, there's 1.5 million signatures to get him out because people felt that he abused the power and caused, you know, the livelihood of countless of millions of people here in California. Came out and he said, we're not going back to normal after pandemic. Now, he has a windfall of something like around $150 billion that he can put into California to resurrect California back to pre-pandemic status. He said in this tweet here, he goes, Newsom said normalcy accepts inequity. Okay, so they're still trying to go on this, you know, Black Lives Matter, let's try to get everybody on the same level, not understanding the fact that, you know, this is a curse upon our people because of the transgression of the past against Yahawashi, and also this curse that was on us is now going to go on to them. Okay, so while they're trying to focus on this great image, you know, these curses are still going to be building up like that. Hence, you see why these homeless are not only just Jakes anymore. These homeless are now them. Okay, and the elites are now working on the middle class and upper middle class. That's the next tier they're working on right now. There is going to be another shutdown. Okay, and a lot of people don't really believe that, but we know that there's going to be another shutdown, and that is going to take care of the middle and upper middle class people before they get on to the people who actually really have money. Okay, so you know, a lot of these people have been very prideful during the time when they were, you know, doing really well. And this is the reason why you're seeing them right now kind of just fall from grace. And of course, I could spend 2 or 3 hours, you know, showing videos after videos of these people who held businesses, and all of a sudden they themselves are now in tent city, because a lot of time you have a business, you actually borrow money to run that business. So they don't really have the actual net worth, which is cash in bank. What they have is really just, you know, a building that they either rent or paying a mortgage on, and a lot of debt, okay, that they've been able to sustain over time because they're, you know, there's buy and sell, but there's no actual profit. And so quickly they quickly fell as they tried to adapt into this. So Proverbs 22:16, he that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich should surely come to want. Okay, and what do rich people do? They tend to give to the rich. What do the so-called Edomites, the Edomites, the so-called white people do? They only hire white people. Okay, or they only hire, or they would hire maybe someone else from the other tribes, like the Moabites, or the Indians, or the Asians, or all those. Well, the Asians and the Moabites, but the different ones. Uh, they hire those people. They don't hire us. Okay, so there's gonna come to a point to where they're actually going to experience what we experience, and that's what you see in them doing right now. And this is the reason why we could be very happy when we read Psalms 146 and 5. And it says, happy is he that had the God of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in the Lord his God, which made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that therein is, which keepeth truth forever, which execute judgment for the oppressed, which giveth food to the hungry. The Lord loosened the prisoners. The Lord opened the eyes of the blind. The Lord raiseth them that are bowed down. The Lord loveth the righteous. And who are those people? That's us in this truth. Yahweh Shemashah had put the prophets and the elders and the teachers out there to do what? To feed us, because we were hungry for this truth. Okay, to loosen us out of prison, because our mind was in prison. Our mind was, hey, if I get a degree, I can get a job. If I work hard, I can get this and that. And what we've come to realize is what? That's never the case. Okay, that's never the case, because the rich only help the rich. Okay, and they don't help the poor. All right, so we look and we can see that the food which is this truth has been given to us. Okay, our eyes have been open not to go and fall for the routine that they're doing right now to tell you to go back to what? Normalcy is what? No job, no hope, no future, DAP, shot down on the streets, oppressed everywhere you go. So what? We go back to prison again? We don't want to go back to that. Okay. So I just thought I would just bring this out because there's this big thing going around like, no, we're going back to normal. We're in the white tier out here. But this is the stark truth right here, and you can look and you can see. Okay, this is where our people is at, and this is where these other people are actually at too. You drive out here, you're gonna see Asians. Okay, living in this situation. You drive out here, you're going to see the whites, so-called whites living out here. Okay, Elam, they're out here living like this too. Some of them, and this is their future, but they don't know it. But we know that this is their future. And with that, I'd like to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. I'd like to thank the elders and teachers from Great Millstones, and also I'd like to give shout out to Amon Abad, Yahweh Maccabees 144 House of David, and also Mysteries of the Kingdom Trilogy. These are my teachers, brothers that do this day in and day out, edifying the sheeps. And to you, brothers and sisters out there in this truth, I'd like to say Shalom.